My father shot my mom in the back for infidelity. So from that day forward, I vowed that I would never cheat on my partner.
That's deep. That's deep.
He could have killed my mom.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But he was enraged. He's like, I do all this for my mom. When I tell you her closet used to be crazy. My mom, her designer was crazy. My daddy took care of her. So for him to find out about infidelity, I mean,
yeah.
And my dad he was in the Navy. He's in the Army.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
it was
so
just probably one of those situations where she just needed some.
My father shot my mom in the back for infidelity. So from that day forward, I vowed that I would never cheat on my partner.
That's deep.
Shalom.
That's deep.
And to that, I will say, Kal Halayam, La Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Bashim Rashai Bashim Makakudash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of greatness to and who would well. Shalom unto the brothers that pushing his works in truth and in sincerity to all the folk ones of the earth. And shalom unto the Israelites that have been scattered among the heathen nations. And shalom unto the few and faithful Aquatium who is listening and learning and obeying their husband. This is your brother Kratazar back at you with another short lesson from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp out of Trinidad and Tobago. And also to that, pray that Bashim Shai give me the power and spirit to do this short lesson and to be edifying. Alright, so all y'all can see, in this video what has taken place. Right? Because the mother, she went out and she cheated. Alright, which is she did a abominable act. Right? And by doing that abominable act is also by death, right? And right, is also by death, right? And as she said, my father, he was in that type of rage, right? Also, as a man, you do anything that you're supposed to do in keeping your household up. You're taking care of your wife, stuff like that, and then for she to go on to somebody else, that's going to get a man raging. And this is the thing, that's why a man is way different from a woman. All right? And a man does love differently. A man loves way more deeper than a woman, because it will have situation where a man will depart from a woman for years for whatever the situation is, but he will still love her until death, right? He still will be jealous when she goes on to another man. This is, I'm talking about within the world. Right? Especially if they have a child together, sometimes you will see that the man still basically care for the mother and stuff like that, right? Let me just get into the scriptures one time, right? This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, right? 26 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Right? And a pillar of rest. Right? Because when a woman doing what she's supposed to do, right? The household clean, this, that, when they come home, she greet you and stuff like that. Right? And with a resting place. Right? That resting place. And a man getteth a wife, getteth a possession. Right? And a possession meaning that, hey, this is his property. Alright? And just like what the father did, in terms of what happened, when he heard what happened, when he heard, or we probably see, right? He get enraged. He get raged. You know, he was jealous in terms of what take place, and he had all right to be jealous because the man is the head of the home. Likewise, Yahweh, which Yahweh is the head, Yahweh Shai, right, is after his father. Then after there is man, right, after Yahweh Shai. Then there is the woman, right, after the husband, and then there is the child after the wife, right? So you see in how you see in how with the rulership goes, right? You see in how the rulership goes, right? Let me get this other precept, right? Exodus 34:14, for thou shalt worship no other gods, right? For Yahweh, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God, which God going into power. He's a jealous power. Yahweh, right? It's a jealous power, right? Especially when you're worshiping other gods, right? Because those gods are false gods, right? You leave in your power. You leave in your power to go and worship an counterfeit power, right? With lies and deceits, wonders. So, reason why I read this precept is that as the rulership, right? Yahweh Shai, which is his son, the man, the woman, the child. So obviously, like when the Israelite people went off and worship other gods and so on, the Lord was vexed, he was angry, he was revolted, he put us into slavery. That was our licks. You understand? As you can see in today's world, here we are. Here we are. Right? He put curses on us. Right? He put us through slavery. Right now, we still in slavery. Right? Once you have a good paper, you are a slave. Right? So that is just to explain, right, why her father has gotten so angry with the mother. Right? Because she have went off, and that act is punishable by death. Right? And and all this is just within working at the spirit. All right, because a man is the head of the home, right? When a man gets that possession, right, his wife look at her husband as her lord, right? Although she know, yes, it have a power that is higher than her husband, but hey, that is her lord. Right? This is when you're watching different movies and stuff like that, they say yes, my lord. Right? Because the woman know that she is beneath the man. Alright? Because when some of our people, went off to other gods, what the Lord do? Will the Lord kill them also? He punished them, and he also killed some of them too. Alright? So digest it. Right? So digest it. So was defined, and to that I like to say Kal Halayam La Allah Nawa Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Kakidash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of great Muslim as well. Shalom unto the brothers that patience works in truth and in sincerity, and shalom unto you Akwatiyam who's listening and learning. Until next time, is the brother Katiza. Shalom.